String weapons are often at the forefront of Brawlhalla's competitive and casual scenes, and it's hard not to see why. They're fast-paced, flashy, and often provide some of the best clips for the game.
You can turn something like this around, it's gonna be Loris, but Godly's gonna get another massive string, and another one right after that. This is Loris going all the way down to red, and that is going to be the 3-stock to put this set to an end.
And while a string weapon's main objective is getting in your face, barraging you with quick attacks, and never really letting you get a break.
Get back onto the stage, landed. Oh my god.
Oh
He's
my
just
god.
gone. He's just gone.
What if they made a character whose entire purpose is spacing out your opponent? Well, if that was the case, we would get...
You cannot get too comfortable against Waluigi, but you can catch him with that D-Light and into the side as well. He's safe and neutral.
Be the KO. Still alive. Oh, he ain't gonna touch.
So are you gonna get on with it?
Give me a minute! Yumiko's down signatures are the core factor into making who Yumiko is, but at first glance, they seem pretty normal. While not doing much knockback, the positions they put you in when catching an opponent easily give you the chance to follow up, and both weapons are different in this regard as well. With Yumiko's bow down signature laying 3 orbs on the ground, being able to apply pressure in front of you, while still allowing you to disengage. Yumiko's hammer down sig, however, is actually completely different, where instead of covering directly in front of her, actually cover a good part above her head. And it works as a simple anti-air that can space out opponents when they get jumpy. These attacks don't really feel out of place compared to other sigs that function similarly, and in turn, should acquire the same amount of utility. Right? Right. Yumiko is the single most unique character in Brawlhalla, and it's not close. Oh, and some may argue, oh, but what about Arcadia? She has the same signatures, she's like Yumiko, she's a... But you are so very wrong. While Arcadia does have the same archetype of attack that Yumiko has, with them both being called zoners, Arcadia's traps are substantially more basic compared to Yumiko's, not allowing for almost any of the quirks that Yumiko offers. But down to their core, they do have the same gimmick. Yumiko just does it better. What makes Yumiko and Arcadia so unique is actually something I talked about in my last video. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But to sum it up quickly, some signatures give characters the ability to throw out 2 moves at once. But for most characters, these gaps only last a couple frames. But for Arcadia and Yumiko, they take this approach and times it by 5. What do I mean by this? Well, looking at something like Sidra's Ensig, a move that has this unique property, we can see its hitbox is active for about 35 frames. With Sidra being able to act within the last 14. That's pretty good and all, giving her access to a small variety of things she can do while the cannonball is active. Do you want to know how many frames Yumiko downsig is active for? 77.
Wait a minute, didn't you already talk about this in your last video?
Well, yeah, but just hear me out. To put it bluntly, the ability to place 77 active frames anywhere you want is a phenomenal power to have in a fighting game. What makes this even more powerful is the fact that Yumiko is fully actionable for about 60 of those frames. Pair this insane amount of utility with the fact that Yumiko can use this in the air with the help of a slide charge or a gravity cancel, and you have a pressuring machine that almost cannot be stopped. Like, just the threat coverage of this thing is enough for players to mess up. And in some instances where a player tries to get back while avoiding downsig, they actively put themselves in a spot to get hit by something else. Like in this clip. Here I hit Magyar with a D-Light Sair, sending him off stage. Trying to continue the pressure, I slide charge downsig. Magyar notices my downsig and tries to recover high to avoid it, but ends up spending all his options and falling right into another D-Light Sair for the KO. And while catching high recoveries off stage is what Hammer Downsig does best, her bow Downsig is great at catching low recoveries. and from what I've seen, is a phenomenal tool for one job. Okay, I said the thing, now you cut to the title screen. Wait, me? Yes, you cut to the title screen! Bow downsig is an insanely good tool for edgeguarding. While her bow downsig may look similar to Arcadia's downsigs, Yumiko actually moves slightly up and away while performing her downsig, giving her even more space while edgeguarding her opponent. But her edgeguarding becomes even more potent when you remember something else about Yumiko. Yumiko is actually fully unaffected by her own orbs, being able to phase through them at any time, meaning at any time in an edgeguarding situation, Yumiko can just... This works extremely well for catching players off guard. And with Bow having the strongest ground pound in the game, you can put a player out of commission way earlier than you otherwise should. But all in all, with everything I've said during the runtime of this video, there's one aspect I haven't touched on that, while not visible at first sight, is one of Yumiko's strongest characteristics. She's really annoying to fight. Okay, no, seriously, what the fuck happened? Seriously, I cannot thank you guys enough for liking that video so much. I started that video back in June, and fulfilling that project and having everybody like it was so insane. Seriously, thank you. And while uploads may be slow on here for a while, you can still follow me on Twitter to see things you wouldn't see here. So again, if you really did like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll always plan to do more of these if these videos do well. But before I go, I do need to tell you something. Yeah, Yumiko is a 5-hit true combo. Okay, maybe we should nerf Yumiko. Thanks for watching.
Wait, didn't you already talk about this in your last video? Wait a minute, didn't you already talk about this in your last video? Wait. Didn't you already talk about this in your last video? Wait, didn't you already talk about this in your last video? Hey guys, I'm Foxx Noodles. By the way, Bean my man, I'm pretty sure you already talked about this in your last video. You can use that one if you want to.